back to Movie Nights, everyone! Out of winter hibernation and back for some B-movie fun. Today, we're going to be looking at Hard Ticket to Hawaii. You might not know the name Hard Ticket to Hawaii right off the bat, but you've probably seen some clips of it online. And it turns out there's a whole movie there. But let me tell you, this entire thing is bonkers. Also, it's got an amazing theme song. So Hard Ticket to Hawaii was directed by Andy Sidaris, and this type of movie was his specialty. In fact, this is one of a 12-part series of action sex comedies starring the same staple of actors called the Lethal Ladies. It's about a group of good-looking people hired for various action projects, with the emphasis on boobs and de-emphasis on continuity or really giving a shit. Look at this rogues gallery. It's like Acapulco Heat if they could show nudity. All of the movies are like this. There's a distinct formula. If you've seen one Lethal Ladies movie, you've seen them all. Except, they do continually find new ways to amaze me and crack me up. I'd be remiss, however, if I didn't also mention that Andy Sidaris won an Emmy in the 60s for his coverage of the Olympics. But guess what people remember him for? The entire collection is on a DVD called Guns, Girls, and G-Strings, and you can get it for like $5. You want to see Eric Estrada or Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles co-creator Kevin Eastman alongside some Playboy playmates as they blow up toy airplanes? You got it! Also, I just want to point out that this is the 69th episode of Movie Nights. Nice. Out of all the Lethal Ladies movies, Hard Ticket to Hawaii is probably the best and most remembered. It's also the first of his sex comedies to introduce the Lethal Ladies themselves, as the introductory movie of the series, Malibu Express, is centered on a mustachioed gentleman whose only legacy here is his boat. There's sort of an ensemble, but our two leading characters for Hard Ticket are Lethal Ladies Donna and Taryn, who are hired to take down a drug kingpin in Hawaii. Also, just as an aside, there's a contaminated python on the loose. Not just a python, a contaminated python. Which is worse than a regular python, I'd imagine. Anyway, much like the movie, we'll get to that later. I gotta say, I'm a fan of the homemade opening credits. It's got character. I think maybe Andy Sidaris was sad that Cover Up was cancelled, so he asked his buddy Glenn Larson if he could borrow his boat and also his plot while he was at it. I'm not kidding, apparently that's Glenn Larson's yacht there, so I can assume those two were buddies. This movie could never be accused of being non-transparent. It's very honest about what it is.
You should get in, Rowdy. The water is great.
Are you kidding? I've got better things to do with my body temperature.
It's really a porn without porn. I mean, it might as well be. Listen to some of these names. Rowdy Abilene, Patty Cakes, Soul Food Lover.
Man, I sure love soul food.
Right on, bro.
It kinda shifts from movie to movie, but I believe these ladies are part of some sort of drug enforcement agency?
Drug enforcement is no job for a girl like you.
Looks like Donna's gonna have to keep breaking that glass ceiling. It's possible this movie is a little sexist, though?
You practically raped me last night.
That was last night, Charlotte. This is today. I care for you, Charlotte. I care for your mind. I don't care about your body anymore. I'm not into that.
May I help you?
I'll have a pair of coffee.
Interesting for the director to cast himself as a rapist. Donna and her partner Taryn spend their days enjoying the Hawaii sun and wearing bikinis, for reasons I'll never know. Taryn isn't technically an agent. She's helping Donna keep cover as part of her witness protection deal after testifying against the mob. So now she's working for the government in an equally dangerous position? Her main joke seems to be that she likes James Bond, a gag you wouldn't imagine has a lot of mileage, but Hard Ticket to Hawaii seems to think otherwise.
And out of all the actors who played James Bond, who do you like best?
I'd give them all equal time.
Their undercover job is transporting cargo, which includes live snakes and also tourists. On the same trip? Enjoy your visit to Molokai! There's a live snake on board! Their official cargo uniforms are like these low-cut military-style short jumpers. Wait, so are nunchucks required gear, or is that just like a hobby of hers? Another Andy Sidaris staple, toy helicopters. I don't know what his deal was with these, maybe he just really liked the prop, but every single one of these is gonna blow up a ding-dang toy helicopter. This particular toy helicopter is being used elsewhere in the plot by one of our bad guys, Mr. Chang, to transport stolen diamonds. Our lethal ladies intercept the diamonds, however, and thus the plot begins. You might think Mr. Chang is Asian, but he isn't.
Chinese father, British mother.
Yeah, sure. So I guess we'll avoid some of the racism then?
Confucius say, a man with deadly hands must be very careful while slapping on aftershave.
Never mind. Get a load of these goons. Shit you not, they're called Earring, Shades, and I don't know, I missed the last guy, but let's just call him Mustache. If you thought Chang was scary, wait till you get a load of Seth Romero, a drug kingpin with a short temper.
I dread facing Seth empty-handed.
Yeah.
You dummies.
To the golf course!
Let's unload and hit the jacuzzi. I do my best thinking there.
This movie, they literally just get into the jacuzzi to look at the diamonds for 2 seconds before getting out. It's incredible.
We don't hear much from Cody anymore since he left the agency to become an actor.
Wait, okay, so the lead guy in that movie became an actor and made a movie about the secret agency he was in, and Donna was on the Malibu Express in the first scene, but is somehow still undercover? Maybe once there's a movie made about it, you might want to retire that particular mode of transport for your secret government agency. At first glance, this movie is pretty shallow, but little do you know the nuanced characters we have. For instance, did you know that Donna's dad was the best agent in the entire government?
My father was the best agent this government ever had.
No, don't want to break these precious films. This movie has a lot of boobs, but don't think that they don't have a little something in the ding-dong department. Not so naked, but equally pretty and dumb, we also have agents Rowdy and Jade. Truly comedic geniuses. I'd like to take this moment to highlight their best scene and probably the most enjoyable part of the movie. So let me break this down here. Rowdy and Jade are driving down the road when they come across a lone skateboarder doing tricks. According to them, this means he must be smoking some heavy doobies.
Man, he must be smoking some heavy doobies.
Said heavy doobie smoker is Mustache, who was apparently doing this for no reason, and joins Earring to chase down our heroes. Chekhov's blow-up doll sits in the passenger seat. Mustache picks up the blow-up doll and a gun, and I can tell you why he needs one of these things, but the other remains puzzlingly unexplained. Jade is shot in the chest, and the audience remains apathetic. They make a vow to get that turkey.
Let's get that turkey.
The next thing that happens defies explanation. Sorry guys, I'm an art critic now. The world deserves to see these masterpieces. If you don't like it, well, you can go watch some lowbrow channel. But seriously, what was he made of? Really, the consistency of a beanbag chair. Andy Sidaris must have been smoking some heavy doobies. There are so many random things like this. What does this football thing have to do? Who's this? Where and why is this happening? I'm losing track of the plots. Like, what is going on? But really, the movie was probably short.
Yo quiero uno teléfono el por favor.
Oh, good old Taryn, you do you. These ladies aren't terribly urgent with their mission. One of their friends is kidnapped, and they're just lounging around their bikinis like, whatever. I don't know, man. I kind of feel like these girls are bad at their jobs.
I don't believe it! Oh!
Like, really bad at their jobs. Okay, so like half of this movie is the drug plot. The other half? A big, big snake. So here's the sitcom scenario. Two snakes are being transported via loose crate. One of them is going to a wildlife park and the other one is contaminated.
Now that snake has been infected by deadly toxins from cancer-infested rats.
Okay. This is just a coincidence that both of them are being transported on the same day and in identical crates, by the way. And wouldn't you know it, a doggone forklift accident ends up cutting loose the cancer-infested toxic rat warning tag and leads to a comical mix-up. Aww, it's like a sock puppet. This can't be how animals are transported. Was no one told one of them was a dangerous, contaminated snake? Like, maybe exercise some caution? I mean, the snake plot is woven throughout the whole movie, but it always surprises me that it's still, like, part of it. As soon as you forget, it shows up for like 2 seconds to remind you that this is still going on. Like, hold on to your pants, people, the snakes are coming! Ooh, but the wait is worth it. Apparently, our drug lord Romero, not a snake fan. Yeah, I'd hate to get on that guy's bad side.
You son of a bitch!
Really, where's the real bad guy? You know, when the villain is shot in the face within the first 30 minutes, it's probably gonna take a little more suspension of disbelief than I got to buy that he's any sort of threat.
Karen, I don't believe it! What happened?
Well, you set a contaminated snake loose during a kung fu fight. Remember? Not to worry though, because its own toxins will kill it within 36 hours. Far be it from me to correct this movie's science. I've never dealt with toxic cancer-infested rat-bitten snakes before. Anyway, once again, we'll get back to that. As you can imagine, this is all terribly romantic.
One man's dream is another man's lunch.
You son of a bitch.
I don't know about that, but I do love lunch. Okay, there are a lot of things to love about this scene, but I'm gonna point out 5. 1. Shade spent days undercover as a frisbee thrower, but he still held onto his gun in plain sight. 2. Regardless, he's still really concerned with how he's perceived by other frisbee throwers. 3. Our government agents plan to assassinate him via razor frisbee. 4. You got a great ass.
Got a great ass.
5. Fist pump. That's a recipe for entertainment. One man's dream is another man's lunch. I mean, the big battle at the end is fun, but it's kind of a letdown after Razor Frisbee, let's be honest. I didn't expect Earring to be one of the last flunkies to go, but this movie is full of surprises. Okay, so get this, guys. They literally, like, forget to kill the drug dealer. It's part of the plot. They just plumb forgot about it. How could they forget me? She just keeps shooting and stabbing him. He's never a threat. But guess who the audience forgot about? How? This is so flippin' amazing, guys. Please watch this movie. Yeah, you really needed the toxic cancer snake to take this guy out.
Just when you thought it was safe to take a pee.
Who were you, Andy Sedaris? Well, after that, it's gotta be like way harder to kill Romero's boss, Mr. Chang. Just kidding, he just stands there while they beat his single bodyguard with nunchucks, and then this happens.
I'd say it's all over.
In a pig's ass.
You know, yeah, that tracks. Just when you thought it was safe to pee. Hard Ticket to Hawaii is stupid fun. It's a movie that's both self-aware and still so bad it's good. A mixture of juvenile humor, bad acting, and some hilarious action sequences. There's several iconic scenes here that constantly kept me laughing. There doesn't seem to be a reason for anything in this movie, which makes it necessary viewing. And if you don't think so, maybe you're just smoking some heavy doobies. So buy your tickets, check your toilets, and strap yourselves in for a good time. Far be it from me to correct this movie's science. I've never dealt with toxic cancer. Far be it from me to correct this movie's science. I've never dealt with toxic cancer-infested rat. Far be it from me to correct this movie's science. I've never dealt with toxic rat-infested. Cancer-infested. Far be it from me to correct this movie's science. I've never dealt with toxic cancer-infested rat-bitten snake before. Far be it from me to correct this movie's science. I've never dealt with toxic cancer-infested rat-bitten snakes. That's the word that trips me up. Snakes.